Hi, thank you. Thank you. One more time for all the comics you've seen tonight. Make it a little loud for them. Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. Look at this. We're here, St. Louis. All right. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to call you that, but I already said it. Thanks so much for coming out to the mall. Look at us. Isn't this fancy? This is why I argue with people. They're like, comedy's an art. And I'm like, it's at the mall a lot. I don't know if that's where art goes, you know? And we're downstairs, so that made it cool, you know? Came in upstairs and I'm like, no, the artsy stuff happens down there. Yeah, up here it smells like farts, but down there, it's gonna smell better. I'm glad I'm not the only one that smelled that. Good Lord. What was that? There's like a good 30 seconds where I'm like, is that me? Like, what did I do? That wasn't me. Had some ice cream earlier, but that shouldn't be causing all this. This is more broccoli induced if my nose is on par. I like it. This half was definitely here when I walked in. This half, listen you guys, at a certain time it smelled like broccoli farts up there. And everyone had to walk in and talk to people like they weren't smelling it. I had to walk in and go, I'm the comedian. And that's not me. I don't know what that is, but that's not me. It's not what I'm bringing to the table. That's very nice. I'm looking forward to one time I'm going to do a weekend out here in St. Louis, and I'll get to explore your town some. But I don't get to. The couple times I've been, it's been one-nighters, so I just know the drive. I just know that I come up from that way, and then I see the arch, and I'm like, that's it. That's it. And then I drive past that, and I'm like, all right, that was it. All right. And then I got to know more stuff about it. I don't know enough about St. Louis. I know you guys got baseball teams historically very good. Historic, right? They had all the championships written on the stadium. You guys laugh like, no. Listen, I don't know how they're doing now, but they look like they did some stuff throughout history. I don't know if you guys are, that's the kind of sports fan I am. Like, I just want to see them win once, and I'm good forever. I know that's not a popular sports fan take, but like, when I moved from Hungary, we lived in Pittsburgh for the first few years, so I became a Steelers fan. Sorry if that angers anybody. That's where we live. And I always wanted to see the Steelers win a Super Bowl. And then in 06, they won one, and I'm like, hell yeah, all right. And then a couple years later, they won again, and I'm like, okay. And I'm cool if they never win a single game ever again for the rest of my life. I already had the joy. Like, do you ever think sports fans are being greedy? We're like, every year we have to be number one. And you're like, are you even enjoying the ones you won then? Is that even what you're I can tell you guys don't agree. I can feel it. I understand that I have a really weird, dumb take on sports, but I'm like, you did it. Yeah, but what have you done for me lately? That's not how I treat things I love. All right? Like, things I love, they're allowed to make something good, and then they're allowed to make, oh, that's a good effort. I see what you were doing there. Like, I'm a fan, dude. When I like a band or something, I'm into, like, if they have a great album, yeah. And if their next one gets weird and experimental, I'm like, okay, yeah. That's what you were feeling in the moment. I'm with you. Like, I love Metallica, okay? I'm a big Metallica fan. And yes, they sound very different from the 80s than they do now, but that's fine. If you want that stuff, go put it on. That's what I don't like. Like, no, I want them to sound like it's 83. They were 18. Now they're 60-year-old millionaires. What do you want them to... How much can they sing about death? Like, their life is amazing. I can still feel it. Some of you agree with me, like, no, just give me the things I like. Win championships and make master of puppets. I don't know. We were talking about music in the back. That's why it's on my head. I like music. I can't do it, but I like it. Oh, but anyway, it's been a fun trip. I came in today. I've only been in town for a few hours, and I was in Evansville the night before. I was doing a show, corporate event. I was doing comedy for a company, and it was bad. It didn't go good. It was just a lot of employees, and there were nice audiences, but it was like a work function. You know, I remember having a job where they'd be like, "Hey, come, it's not mandatory, but," and you know what I mean? Like, it's not mandatory, but we are going to take attendance, and and I don't even know that they did that, and everyone was super friendly, but it was like, 300 people, but they picked a 1,500 seat theater to put it in, and so it just felt like I was auditioning for something. It just felt like I was auditioning for like a high school play, and we were all going to take turns to read a little of Othello and see who gets to play Othello. I just let you know that I don't know who's in Othello. And your response let me know you don't either. So that was good. I could have just played it off, and he could have been like, "Oh, I think he might be smart." I don't know. No, I read the headlines, not the articles. That's what I do. But yeah, I was in Evansville, and then I spent 2 days in Louisville leading up to that, which was great. That town, it's just a giant advertisement for bourbon. That's all it is. It's like the hotel was here and the club was there, and in my short walk was just like, "Come on in, have some bourbon. We have 108 bourbons." And you're like, "That's too many bourbons." Like, why? I'm not used to that. I'm used to bars that are like, "Hey, would you like a cold beer? Come on in. Have a cold beer. Why don't you watch the game? Hang out with a friend." And over there, they're like, "Hey, do you want to cry in front of strangers? Is that what you'd like to do?" I don't know what you do with a couple bourbons, but that's what I do. I get pretty emotional. And I'm not even sad. I'm just thankful. Like, that's what hard liquor does to me now. I don't know if that's an age thing. I don't know what it is, but I get a couple of whiskeys in me, and I'm like, "Oh, I do have great friends." And then my eyes start to well up, and I'm thankful for all of them. Oh, and my wife, she puts up with me. Oh, my mother, my sweet mother. And then once I start welling up about the cats, I'm like, let's reel it in. All right. Like, it's not wrong to love your cats that much, but we are in public. People are watching. Someone comes up, what are you going through? Miso. They're like, who? Oh, it's my cat. That's a nice hat. Is that your hat? That's a stylish hat. I like that. Sorry, that caught my attention. Everyone's got a look to them. I love it. You guys are dressed well. Like, yeah, very nice. I love the hat. I love the cardigan all the way through. Very cool. You look like you manage something. I like the whole... You look like you're in charge of something, right? Well, do you own a company? What do you do? You're retired. Yeah, you look like you're running that. You know? What's on the schedule today? Nothing. That's what we're doing. No one's changing that schedule, buddy. What'd you do before you retired? You worked at a bank. Did you run it? No? All right. I'm misreading it. You look like you were over there like, yeah, this is my bank. I like it. I don't know. I've always had a good time at the bank. For the most part, right? I've always had a good time at the bank. Banks are different by neighborhood, I've noticed that. Like in my neighborhood, there was a guy screaming because he thought he lost something. And he's like, "No! God, no!" And he was just banging on the glass, and I'm like, oh, all right. Like, I was just there to get a new debit card. I lost my debit card, and I'm like, I think that guy's not paying rent this month. And then he found it, and then he's like, "I'm sorry for losing it." And you're like, well, we're all upset, you know? We're all upset. The fake living room with the TV without a remote. Why would you do that? That's every bank. I sit down at the bank, and there's a bunch of nice couches and a TV, and you're like, where's the remote, dude? No one wants to watch this ad for Bank of America. So yeah. Anyway, it was nice in Louisville. It's been a nice trip all along. It's been very nice. Out there, I was with my buddy Josh. He's a little older than me, but he's my most immature friend. I hope everyone's lucky enough to have someone older than you that is more immature than you will ever be in your entire life. He's 43 going on 22. That's who he is. Just he travels with a duffel bag. Like we flew out together, and he came with a duffel bag. And they've been putting wheels on luggage for like 30 years. All right, this is not a new invention. They've been slapping wheels on there for a long time, and he's just at the airport with a duffel bag. And we'd walk, and then we'd stop, and he'd just drop it, and just boom. And I'm like, "What are you doing with a duffel bag?" He's like, "What do you mean? It's my luggage." And I'm like, "Get wheels, dude." And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Get it, because he travels a lot for comedy, and you look like a professional traveler if you have wheels and duffel bag. That just looks like you're being sent to live with your dad, you know?" And you're like, "Oh, I gotta get over there." And that doesn't look like a round trip flight with a duffel bag. You're like, "Oh, he's not allowed to come back till he's better." Like, that's definitely a one-way trip. Like one time I got bullied into buying all this protein powder at like a GNC. You ever go into like a GNC where they got all that stuff? This is when I was young. I was 18, and my buddy Dane came back from the gym, and he's got like 2 big grocery bags full of like protein powder and amino acids, a bunch of like fitness crap. And I was like, what the hell's all that? I thought you went to the gym. He's like, "Yeah." And then afterwards I went in to the GNC, and there's this jacked guy working there, and he like worked out this whole plan for me. And then I left with $156 worth of protein powder and supplements. And I'm like, "Cool, man." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I didn't want to buy any of this stuff." He was just like really intimidating, you know? And I was like, "Whoa, that sucks, dude." And then the more he thought about it, he's like, "Yeah, man, that guy really like bullied me. I didn't want to buy all this." He's like, "I'm gonna go return it." And I'm like, "Cool." And I'm like, he's like, "You want to come with me?" And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, he's intimidating. Can you just back me up?" And I don't know if you can tell how big I am from where you're sitting, but my buddy Dane is 6'4". He's a big guy, and I'm like, I'm the backup, dude. And so I went with him just for moral support. He's my best buddy. I'm gonna go, and we went in there, and that guy was huge. He was like, not like ripped huge, but like the kind of huge where they throw stuff. You know, like sometimes you turn on the TV and you're like, "That's the strongest man in the world." And he's like, "He's kind of flabby, but all right." Like he might be. And he just had like no neck, and he's just over there. And Dane's like, "Hey man, I came to return this." And he's like, "What? You're returning this?" And he's like, "I spent 30 minutes here writing out this plan for you, and then you're gonna come back and return it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not. I can't. I don't want it. And yeah, I feel like he bullied me into it, and I don't want it." And he's like, "That's ridiculous." He just kept harping on him that he spent so much time putting this plan together. And then he goes, "You know another thing I don't like?" He's like, "I also don't like your buddy eyeballing me in the back right there." And I'm like, "Who's eyeballing? I'm not eyeballing." And then he goes, "What are your fitness goals?" And I'm like, "What?" And then he started talking to me. I ended up buying my buddy's protein. So he gave a return on his card, and then he's running my card. And I'm looking at Dan, he's like, "Thanks, man." And I'm like, and then I went back with it. And I ended up choking down those amino acid pills. Maybe they worked, but they didn't do anything for me. I'll tell you that. Anyway, that was a weird story, but it came up. I'm glad you went along with that. I appreciate that. I got a few more stories left to tell you, but the first thing, I didn't even say thank you yet. Thank you so much for helping me pack out this room on a Sunday. It means a lot. Thank you. It's a great feeling to sell the place out, especially when there's like a football game going on. And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I was like, "Good, they all bought it before they knew." You know, yeah. Is it close? It just started.
No, I meant like the purchase decision.
Oh, the purchase decision. All right. I like it. Some people didn't come. Like, because the show's sold out, but there are some empty seats, which is, that's also what I like. That's why I like my audience. Like all of my audience, I feel, is, like, close to me. Like, you're like me in the sense that you're either around my age or just a little bit above. Like, there's not too many, like, people in their early 20s coming to see me. And I really like that. Like, I have some comedian friends that all their fans are like, 22! And I'm like, that would be horrible. Because those people like expect the night of their lives. They're like, "We're gonna have the night of our lives," and people my age and up are like, "We're going, all right?" Like, and that's what I want. I don't. I want some people that are like, this will be fine, you know? I want some, like, I know at least a good portion of this audience, an hour before the show, you guys, one of you at home is like, we could stay in. Like, we don't have to go, you know? That's why I always want to keep my ticket prices at this level. Because that's enough money to where you're like, well, we could just stay in. We don't have to go. Like that's something new that's happening. Like I'm doing a couple bigger venues in Seattle, like Pacific Northwest, and some of those are being sold by Ticketmaster, and so I can go on the website and look at the seat map and see how many tickets have sold. And some people are like scalping the tickets, like they're doing the resale thing, and like the tickets are like 35 or 55, like, but they're selling them for like 200 or something. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I just hope no one buys them. That's what I hope. And then we can move people up and sit in there. Because, like, that's not fun for me. Because, like, I look at an audience of people that paid, like, 30 or 50 bucks, and they're like, we're going to have a good time. But, like, someone that's, like, 200 bucks in, they're like, this better be good. Like, that's... And I'm going to be able to tell, you know? I'm going to be able to tell on their faces, this guy, this better be good. And I'm like, I don't want that kind of pressure on me. I don't. I like skippable activities. That's what I like. That's how I live my life. My wife and I skip a lot of stuff. We went to Amsterdam for her birthday, and we were there like 4 days, and we had a canal tour scheduled for the third day, and we really should have done it the first day, because we had walked around, we'd seen the canals, and so the third day comes around, and Emma's like, what time's that canal tour? And I'm like, at 5, and she's like, how long is it, like an hour? And I'm like, 90 minutes. And she's like, how much were those tickets? And I told her, and she's like, let's skip it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I love skipping stuff. Like, that's my favorite thing.